Good afternoon, Brian. Absolutely. We are obviously hunkered down. We have over 30,000 residents in evacuation centers. Just as we spoke, the light flickered here where I am at the Emergency Operations Center in Bonita Springs. We suspended any vehicles or first responders from being on the road as of 9:15 this morning when winds were sustained over 40 miles an hour. And right now we have gusts up to 65 miles an hour. But as we know and as we fear, it's going to get a whole lot worse.
Bill Cairns.
What percentage of your population, Mayor, do you believe that you still have in town?
We've had a lot of people evacuate, my family included. We have a lot of folks still up north, but there is a substantial amount of our population that is here and is hunkered down and riding out the storm. We've been talking about evacuation now for over a week. We had localized flooding last week. Governor Rick Scott was here, and we have been in constant communication with the governor's office. He's been very hands-on, and now it's up to God.
Did you evacuate all zones or just the zones that you are most concerned with the storm surge?
Yes, no, we've had mandatory evacuation citywide and moving people into evacuation centers. We responded to all the calls that we could this morning prior to the 9:15 suspension of first responders. And we're gearing up as that map shows you.
Mayor, what's your highest elevation in Bonita Springs?
Our highest elevation is very low. It's certainly not 10 and 15 feet like this storm surge is telling us. So if that storm surge is accurate, there's a lot going on here.
I'm looking
and our highest elevation is 13 feet.
13
so no matter
feet.
what happens, 15 feet of storm surge is going to cause a lot of damage.
I'm looking at a graphic that Bill Cairns has just put together showing 38 miles between you, probably more like 37 or 36 by now. I don't know how good you are at math, but moving north at 9 miles an hour. So it's within a 3 to 4 hour window of you?
Yes, and that's been consistent, Brian, with what we've heard. And, we're gearing up for 100-mile-an-hour winds between 8 and 10 hours.
Oof. And we're hoping for anything but that northeast eye wall that we're looking at here on radar, Bill.
And Mayor, do you have any, you can't make everyone leave, do you have any areas of mobile homes or trailer parks that you're especially concerned with and that you had deputies trying to get people out of that are still remaining?
Yes, absolutely we have. And we have moved as many folks as we possibly can into evacuation centers. And we have folks that have heeded that advice. But let's face it, this is America, and we have people that have dug in and demanded to stay. So we are doing everything that we can do up to this point. And now it's time to ride it out. And we will be back out in the community just as soon as it is safe to get back into the community. And we do have roughly 7 trailer parks and mobile homes parks in the city of Bonita Springs.
Yeah, this storm does not like mobile homes. I don't
That's
care.
scary for the loss of life, Mayor. If you know you have people in those mobile homes, that's disheartening.
First to go. Mayor, we're going to be hoping and praying for the very best for you. Good luck to you. Good luck to all the people of your town, and let's hope all the right preparations are going to pay off. That has been Peter Simmons, the mayor of Bonita Springs. You were just talking about how it is kind of next up after Naples in the past.
Yeah, and just the people that, the loss of life that's going to occur for people that stayed in one story. He said 13 feet is their highest elevation. 10 to 15-foot storm surge, wave action on top of that, objects in the water sloshing around on top of the waves, destroying property. The thought that we are 6 to 8 hours away from people being in these structures with that water rising around them and them fearing for their lives is, what can you say?
This is still a 4, meaning what's the highest gust they are likely to get? 3-4 hours from now?
When we went through the Keys, a lot of the observation stations were between 100 to 120. I think that's a safe range. It hasn't weakened ever since it went through the Keys. So, yeah, the Bonita Springs area, Naples, Marcos. And I was saying before, the Weather Service doesn't have it weakening that much from now till it gets to Tampa at 2 a.m. in the morning. They still think Tampa has a chance for 110 to 120 mile per hour wind gusts. So this extreme wind warning, which is the equivalent of a lower end tornado that's 40 miles wide, is going to come up the west coast of Florida. And then we get the storm surge. And don't expect pictures, and this is important. Yeah. Storm surge comes in, is horrendous, will kill people, will destroy everything, and then it will slowly recede and go out. So by the time we get to morning, we're not going to have people on rooftops like Harvey or Katrina waving and looking for help. They'll either be alive or they'll be dead, and they'll need medical assistance, but the water will be gone.
Well, that gets your attention, as it is designed to and as it should. Cal Perry, what do you have?
Take a look at Marco Island here from the air. This is obviously from the tourism board. This gives you an idea of what we're looking at and what we're talking about when we say low-lying areas, beautiful place, right? That's what we're worried about with that storm surge. This is going to come right up here. I want to play for you.
That's great, Cal. I mean, that just sells the story.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and this is why people move there.
That is the tip of the spear that is going to be the first ground contact of this storm.
And the top of those hotels are the only spot that's higher than 10 to 15 feet.
Right.
I mean,
and as you know, a high-rise building can actually change a category in a storm because you get a higher wind effect.
Yeah. I mean, you're safe in the high-rises in interior rooms away from the windows, but yeah, the winds will be higher.
Cal, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No problem. To the other coast now, this was something you mentioned, and I know I'm chasing the conversation a bit. This was this power line explosion in Boca Raton.
Yep.
I'm going to see if I can get some audio.
These are going to happen all day, too.
Yeah, watch this.
Of course. There you just saw it. It's still a live power line right here in Boca. Firefighters need to protect themselves.
All day we're going to be seeing that. And this is also when we tell people, listen, don't go walking into water. You don't know what's in the water. You don't know what kind of lines are there. Our crews take a lot of safety precautions to do that. Last thing I want to show you, again, just chasing back from Tampa. After we did our live shot, Bill?
Yeah.
People out there taking selfies.
It's not... We don't want people driving around because we don't want people getting in accidents, and we don't want emergency services have to deal with stuff like that. You know, these people, hopefully, if they just lived right next to the area, they can get out there, get their pictures, and get inside. The storm surge there is still predicted about 8 hours away, so it's hard to avoid it. I mean, any police officer would tell you, please don't cause more problems for us right now.
Yeah. You know, I'm a little bit, when we look at sort of when this thing is going to make landfall, Bill, and let me know what you think, and it's going to happen at night. Right, so people are not going to be able to see that water.
If we get the landfall, I mean, I'm not going to focus so much on the landfall, because landfall is, honestly, it's a headline. We have landfall. It doesn't change anything. It's more for the historical record. Did we get the landfall or not? What I care about is when we showed you that purple on the map, the northeast eye wall, who goes through that? Because that's what's going to cause the most wind damage, and that's what's going to have the potential to kill people. So that's what matters to me.
As we go to a break, can I impose upon you once again to show us minutes until Naples, because we are looking at this shot of Naples, which is just getting buffeted by these squall lines, and they appear to be on the front end of another band.
Yes, they're on this right here, Brian. So if you see this band is the one that extends all the way back here to Homestead. I mean, this band is just, it's been sitting here over Homestead for a while. It's starting to shift now up towards the Miami area. So what we're looking at here is we have this feeder band. Yeah. And then, you know, you have other feeder bands that have been north of there, which we saw with Carrie earlier. And then it looks like we have another one on the northern edge. And then we have the eye itself. So you get these little moats, we'll call them, or little breaks in between. And then it really ramps up. And then it will just get crazy. And then maybe you go through the eye.
Yeah, we do not have reporters or crews on Marco Island. It was thought...
For good reason.
It was just thought that it would not be a... smart decision by us. Look, we're going to take another quick break. We have hours to go here, and sadly, we are entering the desperate hours for places like Marco Island and parts of Naples, Florida. Our live coverage of Irma continues right after this.
just as an extra step of precaution, we're using a tow line here to secure myself to a pillar. It's just an added layer of security because those winds are beginning to pick up.
Haven't you ever wanted something more, Barry?
Watch your step.
A pilot like you should be serving your country.
You're CIA.
Based on an incredible true story.
We need you to deliver stuff for us.
Of the CIA's biggest secret.
Is this all legal?
You trust me?
No.
On September 29th.
CIA, DEA, Pablo Escobar. I made a fortune working for them boys.
There are bills blowing around everywhere.
I'll rake it up in the morning.
Tom Cruise.
Stop now if you want. It gets crazy from here.
American made. Rated R.
Allergy congestion makes you feel trapped. Break through with Allegra D 5-in-1 Relief. It works fast, has a non-drowsy antihistamine, and a powerful decongestant. Break through allergy congestion with Allegra D.
When you schedule with Safe Flight Auto Glass, you get time for more life. This family wanted to keep the game going.
Hey, Mom, one more game?
With Safe Flight, you get a text when we're on our way. You can see exactly when we'll arrive.
Sure. Bring it.
I'm Micah with Safe Flight.
Thanks for coming. It's right over here.
Giving you a few more minutes for what matters most.
Take care. Bye. Safe Flight Repair, Safe Flight Replace.
Liberty Mutual stood with me when this guy got a flat tire in the middle of the night, so he got home safe.
Yeah, my dad says their insurance doesn't have that. What?
You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen,